Hi, welcome to Bellevue Girls Academy PE department. I'm going to give you some information about the BTEC First Award in Sport that we offer at Level 2, Key Stage 4 for Years 10 and 11. Okay, a BTEC qualification then is equivalent to one GCSE. It's just a different way. BTEC is a different way of being assessed. Rather than it being end-loaded, it's assessed as you go along. So we do 4 units that we complete over 2 years. Unit 1 is an online on demand, so we can sit it as we please, as we feel the students are ready. 1 hour, 15-minute exam with out of 60 marks. Variety of questions from some 1-mark answers, multiple choice, to some longer extended answers. Units 2, 3 and 6 are coursework based with a mix of practical and theoretical assessment. So Unit 1 then, the exam-based unit, it's out of 60 and it's 1 hour and 15 minutes long. Topics that the students would study are components of fitness, looking at things like agility, strength, speed, flexibility, how we can work on those and develop them, and methods of training that we cover, and fitness testing that goes alongside that. These are areas and topics that you cover for things in health career pathways, not just sports careers, understanding the body, how it moves, how we can train it to become better, which obviously can be quite useful if you're looking at like rehabilitation careers and physiotherapy, things like that. It is initially classroom based. There is theory to cover to learn for the exam. However, we try to make it as practical as possible to help that learning sink in, because you need it later on in some of the further units to apply practically. So it will be a mixture of practical where possible, but just be aware that this one is mainly classroom based in Unit 1. Unit 2, Practical Sport. This is coursework based with deadlines to meet. There are 3 assignments to complete in total. Topics such as rules and regulations of sports, along with the skills, techniques and the tactics that are required for at least 2 different sports, but we can look at a variety. You'll be assessed in 2. And an observation and analysis of our practical performance will also be covered. Because we're doing a lot of practical in this unit, video evidence is required by the exam board, and we have to show students can demonstrate practical skills in isolation, so on their own, in conditioned games and practices, and also a full gameplay with officials, umpires, referees, etc., depending on the sport that's being covered. The girls get lots of opportunities for leadership within this, as well as it being their own practical performance. And there's lots of practical lessons that have underpinning theory that is included within the lesson. So it's slightly different the way it's taught compared to what you may have been used to in your Key Stage 3, Year 7, 8 and 9 lessons. There will be times where you have to listen, and a little bit more so than you would have done in your Key Stage 3 lessons, but we try to keep it as practical as possible. Unit 3 then, this is applying the principles of personal training. Now again, it's another coursework based unit. We assess as you go along. I said that's what a BTEC is and why it's different to GCSE. There are 4 assignments for this unit. Topics include obtaining data about your current lifestyle and fitness status, and then based on that information and test results that you gained in Unit 1 from the content there, you use that information to help you plan and prepare a training programme that's going to help you improve your performance in Unit 2. So you'll do some goal setting, you will then design that training programme based on that personal information, you will then complete that training programme practically, and you'll monitor your progress as you go along, and it'll take about 6 weeks. You plan a 6-week programme, and you'll be keeping a training diary as you go, using the theory that you've learned from Unit 1 and putting this into Unit 3 as well. It's what we call a synoptic unit, where what you've learned and understood from previous other units all comes together to be applied into this work-based task. You then complete the 4th final assignment, which is a final review of any of the changes that took place, and using that theory, applying your knowledge as to why that happened, the reasons, to submit that final assignment. It's a mixture of theory and practical. Again, lots of theory to apply, but practically demonstrate it is the aim of the unit. There's some content that we have to do, which will be classroom based, which is the body systems. You'll look at the heart, the lungs, muscles and skeletal system as well will be covered. And obviously you will apply that into the task that you are asked of at the time. The fourth final unit is Unit 6, which is leading sports activities. This is coursework based also. You'll do 2 units in Year 10, 2 units in Year 11. So there's lots of time. We factor that in. You have assessments that are penciled in throughout the year, and obviously it's really important that you're good at meeting those deadlines rather than building up to an end exam. The theory on what makes a good leader is taught on this unit in the first assignment. Looking at examples of good leaders in the community or, out there in sport in general. You'll be planning activity sessions, taking into consideration safety and risk assessments. And these, tasks are what are required in many other careers, even if it's not sport. So again, more transferable skills. You'll be supporting in leading one of your activities that you plan, and you'll be obviously be video recorded doing so as evidence. And we usually have the primary schools, local primary schools come in, and you'll get experience at leading groups of small children. And then you complete a final review using the theory that you learned initially. What has made you a good leader? What do you need to maybe work on in future, and how can you develop that in the future? So setting targets. And that makes up the final assignment for this unit. Along with this unit, there is also the opportunities to build additional leadership awards into the course that we do with the girls, and trips and visits. We try to make it as practical and as real life world suitable for the community that they're going to be going into when they get older. We try to make it as suitable and appropriate as we can, giving them additional opportunities to enrich their studies. All 4 of the units together provide a great scaffolding for many future careers and courses with many, many transferable soft skills like communication and leadership and things, time management, being in charge of others, things like that, along with then some hard skills that are specifically linked to sport and health, such as the skills, techniques, tactics that are more to do with the actual sport that they're undertaking at the time. I've already talked about the additional leadership opportunities, and just as with a BTEC, because it's not building up to an end grade, you are assessed as you go along, as I've already mentioned, and it's really important in school in general, but if you're going to take part in a BTEC, your attendance really needs to be great because you are assessed as you go along. The GCSE subjects you are building up and preparing, you can catch up at any point ready for that end assessment. You'll think, I'll sort it out when I get to GCSE, when I get to that level. However, it needs to be from the get-go with a BTEC. Everything counts. Any work you submit right through from Year 10, it counts into your final submission. So it really is important that you're here for that as well. All 4 units are assessed independently of each other. You'll get a grade for each unit. It's then added together at the end of the course to create one overall grade, and it's reported as a pass, merit or a distinction. That is the GCSE equivalent if you want to compare it to that of getting a grade 6, 7 or 8. There is the opportunity to get a distinction star. That is effectively a GCSE grade 9 equivalent of. However, in order to get that, you've got to get a distinction across all 4 of your units, so basically full marks, in order to be awarded a distinction star at the end. That it makes no difference for future level careers. Moving on to level 3, it's accepted. It's it's valid. It's the same. It's just equivalent to GCSE. It's just a different way of being assessed and learning, which suits some students better than others. Studying at BTEC here, you can see that they focus on skills-based learning and the designed around the themed units that we've gone through. And rather than testing everything together at the end, you are then tested as you go along in real-life scenarios for your assessments. And we tried to make it as practical as possible, and these are skills that employers and universities are looking for. So there's plenty of opportunities to learn, improve and succeed, and to study in sport if that's what you're good at, before you have to narrow down those options and those choices when you get then to sixth form and to level 3 study. So keep your options open and study what you enjoy, get those great grades, because then you can narrow it down. If you don't wish to do sport after into level 3, there's many skills you can take with you. We would love you to continue on to level 3 sport as well. However, don't dismiss us because you feel it's not a career pathway that you feel you're going down. Think about those skills that this course will enable you to develop that employers and universities are looking for. Okay, so as we've said, it leads to your level 3 study. You can then go on to study sports courses, which we offer at Bellevue, or it could go on to other subjects with transferable skills. Possible future careers once you've gone through level 3, the skills it's going to allow you to develop and career pathways, if you're thinking of, would be things like physiotherapy, maybe primary teaching because of managing children, leadership skills, communication skills, working to deadlines and timeframes. Those are all things that are necessary for those careers. Nursery workers, childcare settings, health-related careers, dietitian, healthcare assistants, many NHS careers, look favourably on people who've studied sports courses, and project management, time management skills. So, as we've already mentioned numerous times, many transferable skills, even if you're not directly interested in a career in sport. If you have any further questions, if you're a student, please ask one of the PE teachers. We will gladly go through further information with you. You will also have some support study sessions, and examples of BTEC work can be viewed within your lessons in January. If you're a parent and want more information, please don't hesitate to get in contact with school and ask to be put through to a member of the PE department, and we will gladly go through clarifying any further information or, settling any concerns you might have about studying sport. So we look forward to you hopefully choosing our subject. Thank you.